Alrighty, Grand Rising, good afternoon and good evening. Today I come before you to do a reading on KEKE Palmer, and I made sure that I did a very strong prayer of protection for her and her baby before I started this reading. I know y'all like to know what tarot decks I use. I found this on Etsy, and she does great work. This young woman has been hiding and suffering in silence throughout the majority of the duration of this relationship. And the last reading that I did on KEKE, I picked up because she is a Virgo. She's very, very private. Earth signs will take things, to the afterlife to keep the home protected and private. So for her to finally have to come forward and tell us what's been happening with her and to her, it's sad that things had to happen in such a way, and that she felt like she had to suffer in silence this whole time. So I'm going to try my best to really read this from a place of love. Certain things I don't want to tap into because it's not about us knowing what's going on. KEKE is in a very fragile place and she's healing right now. And anybody who has ever seen someone or been around someone who has suffered from DV, you know that the time when this person is leaving the situation is very pivotal, and it's a very, very fragile and gentle time because that person is pretty much trying to put themselves back together like shards of glass. So if you have it in your heart to pray for KEKE Palmer and her son, I'm asking you to please do so, and keep requesting that the angels give her the highest protection that God has to give. And if you're suffering through something like this, don't be afraid to, reach out and get help however you can. If you don't have family that can help you, find the local services wherever you live and do whatever you have to do to get out. And I would say to do it silently, because it's not always a good thing to let an abuser know that you have made up your mind to escape. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides of the highest heavenly order, show me the energy around KEKE before she finally decided to go for help. Wow. First card out is death. She was literally afraid for her life. This last situation, she knew this had to be it. She knew things had to come to an end because she was afraid that her life had flashed before her eyes, allegedly. Hold on, what is this? Blank card in here. Star is at the bottom of the deck. Star is a card of hope, contract negotiations and agreement. Also, there was a moment where she had a glimmer of hope. Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. Y'all, this is such a sad, messed up combination because Ten of Swords is being stabbed in the back for the last time. This is, you know, somebody who has put you in such a position that it is literally the valley of no return. And this is a person who, doggone it, I caught this energy in the last reading that, you know, when he got her pregnant, he hit a lick. He courted her for the come up, allegedly. And sometimes, you know, what's the proverb when they say, you know, never give a person too much, because sometimes they'll fall in love with your hand and not your heart? Well, she decided to take her hand back when she took back her heart. And it sparked and fueled some really negative emotions. Now, Queen of Wands. Wands are the cards of action. This spark of hope gave her the faith and the courage that she needed to act out and do what she needed to do to branch out for help. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is fulfillment and like the greatest love you'll ever know. This feels like, to me, she allegedly felt like, if I make it out of this situation, I have to do what I need to do for my son. I love my son too much to not get out of this situation. I have to do this for my son. Knight of Cups. The Empress. So, Knight of Cups and the Empress. I have picked up on the energy of infidelity while she was carrying his child. This is that energy again. Three of Cups. Yes, third party energy. Going out to party, meeting up with other people, doing your thing. So you could do whatever you wanted to do, but she had to be held captive like a bird in a gilded cage while you did you. Biggest problem of this whole situation is she paid the cost to be the boss. But you allegedly, Darius, decided that you would pigeonhole her so that you can become a boss. Eight of Pentacles and the Fool. So it's like this leap of faith, this energy, this affected her work a lot. She had to be mindful of the work that she took because of him and how he would react to certain things, because this is the energy that I'm pulling. Also, you got to remember KEKE is like, you know, America's darling. Like, we watched her grow up from Aquila and the Bee into the woman that she is now. So if she possibly had any signs of abuse, there are people who would take this very personally because they watched her grow up. They feel like uncles and aunties. This would be a very personal thing. And like I said, she's a Virgo. earth signs love to keep things private, sometimes to their own detriment. Eight of Cups. Yeah, so, she realized that his behavior was affecting her work. And let's be honest, the whole Usher thing, it puts a whole new spin on it, because I saw that he was manipulative with his intentions when he put that energy out, when I did that last reading, because he was trying to put her in her place. But this goes to a whole nother level. This is maleficent. Please, excuse me. I have to take a pause right here, because I have to really think about what's responsible to say from this point, because this is not a private reading. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. This man betrayed her over and over again, did all types of things to her, not because of things that she was doing, but because of jealousy and hatred for her success, even though he allegedly attached himself to her because of her being fruitful and her success. Because she was making things happen, which would also make her the empress outside of her carrying his child. This is some very deliberate and demonic energy. King of Wands, Death. So, the King of Wands falls right under the Death card, which shows me that it was because of his actions that things had to come to an end. But he's out of control. Okay? The Empress. This Empress keeps popping up. This man is very, very out of control. And it's strange, because it's the way that I'm feeling this energy, it's almost like it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like you could flip a switch and literally, just immediately just flip a switch and he goes berserk. This is beyond a bipolar. This is literally like laughing and smiling and cool and leaves the room and comes back a different person. This almost feels to me like a demonic possession. I don't know. Most of the people who watch my videos are usually like 35 to 45. So I know a lot of you will understand this reference. It's almost like the movie Sybil, where Sybil had so many multiple personalities that even her multiple personalities had not met one another. Okay? It's literally like multiple entities, multiple people living in the same person. Clicks in, clicks out, allegedly. Ten of Swords, King of Cups. See what I mean? What type of roller coaster this is? I'm channeling Vivian Green, emotional roller coaster. It's like an emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't never healthy. Loving you ain't never good for me. Emotional roller coaster, but I can't get off. This man has deep emotional issues, because the King of Cups is someone who feels very deeply but does not share how they feel. They don't wear their feelings on their sleeve. This is not someone who's going to be open with you about why they're seething. This is why it feels like, lights on, lights off, literally hitting a switch. And it's like, what did I do? What happened? Why are you mad? And when he goes into that energy, allegedly, this is when you get this Ten of Swords. Completely relentless. It's like, starts fights so he can go out and do what he wants to do with whoever he wants to be with. He could stay out all night. And then once everything is done, he comes back and finds a way to be nice again. Page of Swords. And the Nine of Swords peeking out from the deck. So if you've watched me for a while, you know that I don't just read what hits the table. I read as I shuffle and whatever pops out to me. And I get confirmation and reconfirmation because things will come back out. If I see this and this is prominent, guess what? It will come back out. So this is showing me that this is a stalker. And he's in high anxiety. Okay? Not resting. Mind is going 1,000,000 miles a minute. And he's really unstable from what I'm picking up energetically. This is someone who, damn, my spirit guys just said like son of Sam. That's messed up. This is someone who could possibly hear like voices, but it's not that he's out of his mind. He really is communicating with the spirit realm, with whatever entity, inhabits his body. And he comes up with ideas about what she could possibly be doing, but he's the one that's out doing him. So it's like a strange, enraged insecurity that is fueled by his own actions, allegedly. Two of Swords, King of Swords. Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Now, she would definitely be in the Queen of Pentacles because she is an earth sign, and the Queen of Pentacles represents earth and earth signs. Also, she is the one who holds the bag. So when you see the Two of Swords and the King of Swords, I don't know his sign, but the attributes of the King of Swords is someone who can be cutthroat with their communication. Even when they tell the truth, it is a brute and aggressive way to share this communication. And it's like when you speak to someone like this, they're someone who's like void of emotion. And after a while, it's, dealing with this person who's very cold in their delivery, very cold and unyielding or unfeeling. She eventually decided, I have to cut this energy off. Six of Swords. So, Six of Swords to the Two of Wands. She made the decision to move forward towards victory. Okay, I'm going to move forward towards victory. There was a lot of anxiety around making this decision, but she made the decision because it was best for her. Because here it is, there were third parties, there were also, you know, outside factors. And third parties are not just women, okay? There were people that were constantly in the mix, in the business. It feels like people who may have fanned the flame, okay? Or people who knew that his behavior was unbecoming. And instead of calling him on this behavior, they would, you know, placate. This is someone who would, you know, feed into the delusions. Eight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I said she would be the Queen of Pentacles because this is an earth sign. She initiated the walking away from this relationship. Okay? It was not him. She initiated the walking away. Now, usually like Nine of Pentacles represents the independent woman. We got the Ten of Pentacles here. So that means every penny in this relationship was hers. And as the Queen of Pentacles, you know, that represents stability, the wife type energy, okay? The woman who is grounded, not just the earth sign, but she truly embodies earth energy. This isn't just somebody bringing something to the table. This is the table. When she took the table away, she took away the opportunities. She took away the ability to feast, not just eat, because there's a difference. You know, this is, you know, going from filet mignon to oodles and noodles. Judgment. Now, judgment also represents balance, karmic justice. This also represents the legal issues of this situation. And like I said, because of his actions, everything came to an end. And this is how the law got involved with the lovers. Ten of Pentacles, okay? So we got the Star, the Queen of Wands, the King of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck represents heartbreak. I told y'all, she was the table. She walked away, the table left. He could not handle going from sugar back to shit. This is terrible. The Lovers, you got the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, the King of Swords. Now, you would think, you know, somebody who was out here being a lover boy, you know, he's Mr. Lover Man. He's got this one, that one, and the next. You would think he would have a place to lay his head and move on. And chances are he has whoever he deals with, but it's a whole different vibe when you walk out of the land of milk and honey back to crumbs and change. And after dealing with her, he's never going to be able to really solidify someone else in that bracket, because this left a sour taste because of how people feel about Keke. Keke's pretty much been, you know, the good girl. Nobody is saying she's perfect, but she's been the good girl. That hits different. Five of Wands. This is the card of physical altercation. So when he, excuse me, something choked me up, so I know I'm on the right path. Looking at this Three of Cups, the card of party and the card of third party energies. Allegedly, when such type things would be addressed, this is when someone becomes aggressive. So you don't like to be questioned. You don't like to be held accountable. But you bring nothing to the table outside of sex. And I'm not saying that he has to make the same amount of money as Keke. I think Keke was very comfortable with the idea of him just being a regular guy, which is very rare because there's women that will never touch the money that Keke has. And they don't want to date anybody that, you know, pretty much is the male version of an Instagram model. They don't want it. But she was allowing him to feel his way, find himself. She was letting him rock, right? But from what I'm feeling energetically in this reading, the same reason that he decided to be with her is the same reason that he developed an alleged hatred for her, because he felt like she looked down on him because he couldn't provide. But he chose her because she could provide. Now just look at that. The irony of that. Ten of Wands. Yeah, this was providing all types of, bad situations for Keke when it came to work, because this put the weight of the world on her shoulders, and it was keeping her from being fruitful and manifesting and working in the capacity that she was accustomed to working in, because he felt some type of way about her success, and he would try to limit her opportunities by either speaking down on certain things or just not being supportive, because even though he was living off of her benefits, he didn't like the fact that she was so much more successful than him. He wanted her to fall into the housewife energy and let him take over so that he could be the provider. Which is weird, because it's like, dude, just you being with Keke, you're going all across the internet and you're telling people that you're a fitness instructor. You could have started a YouTube, a TikTok, whatever, giving people tips on how to get in shape. And that would have made you money. That would have given you an ability to provide for the family, for yourself. It would have been fruitful. I could see that taking off because people love Keke, so they would definitely give you a watch because of her, especially if every once in a while you can convince her to do a couples video on how, women can snap back after pregnancy. That would have been huge. That would have went over great. But I don't see him being business minded like Keke. And that was a problem. Not for Keke, though, because she accepted him as is. um, Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now, this right here is a very toxic combination because this is, like I said, this is Stalker 2.0. And this is somebody rushing in to argue and manipulate the energy through harsh communication. Because the Knight in the upright is somebody who rushes in to communicate. Excuse me. Must have been a reason why I said that. Because he definitely came out of left field. In the reverse, that's what I meant. In the reverse, this is somebody who doesn't want to, communicate per se. This is somebody who wants to yell, wants to rant, wants to rave, wants to, berate you. And you're going to listen. It's no telling how long he had been watching her to figure out how and when he was going to strike. But he had been watching for a while. Five of Swords. What did I tell you? Card of arguing. He wanted to berate her. He wanted to yell at her. He wanted to, hurl insults and all these insinuations. He didn't want to communicate. He just wanted to be abusive. This is a overgrown boy in a man's body having a tantrum because he could not have his way, allegedly. The sun coming out under death, the King of Wands in judgment. Yeah, it was his karma for all of this to be exposed. And the sad thing is, from what I can see, KEKE would have kept this under wraps. She wasn't even going to tell us what she was suffering through. She just wanted him to leave her alone. Bottom of the deck, the world. She just wanted this to come to an end. That's it and that's all. Just please leave me alone. So I feel like I went deep enough into this energy of the energy around KEKE Palmer before she decided to reach out for help. I don't want to go too much further in depth because this is a very sensitive subject and I want to respect her healing, and I'm going to stop right here. I thank you all for your support and your views. And as I asked at the beginning of this reading, if you have it in your heart, please pray for KEKE. Send her loving, positive vibes towards her and that beautiful baby. And let's just, wish her the best and a speedy recovery mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because you don't just get over this type of energy. It takes time. And with that being said, this reading is adjourned. Have a good night, everybody.